Next, number 9. Every child has the right to live in a community and a society that can offer him an environment free from pernicious influences and conducive to the promotion of his health and the cultivation of his desirable traits and attributes. It means that the child has the right to live in a society or in a community that is away from any bad influences and to have enough health care and helping them develop their characters or talents in a good way. Next is number 10. Every child has the right to the care, assistance, and protection of the state, particularly when his parents or guardians fail or unable to provide him with his fundamental needs for growth, development, and improvement. Meaning every child has the right to have enough care, support, and protection from the institution of the government, specifically if his parents fail to meet or provide his material and spiritual needs for his growth and development. Next is number 11. Every child has the right to an efficient and honest government that will deepen his faith in democracy and inspire him with the morality of the constituted authorities both in their public and private lives. It means that all children have the right to live in an efficient and good government that will help them strengthen their faith and to be an active, good, and responsible citizen of the country. Next is number 12. Every child has the right to grow up as a free individual in an atmosphere of peace, understanding, tolerance, and universal brotherhood, and with the determination to contribute his share in the building of a better world. It means that every child has the right to learn and grow up as a free individual, to do the things that they want and to acquire the things that they want for good of their lives, and to live and grow peacefully. Now let's proceed to Article 4, Responsibilities of the Child. Every child, regardless of the circumstances of his birth, sex, religion, social status, political antecedents, and other factors, shall, number 1, strive to lead an upright and virtuous life in accordance with the tenets of his religion, the teachings of his elders and mentors, and the biddings of a clean conscience. It means that it is the responsibility of a child to try hard to live and lead in a righteous life, with the accordance of the teaching of his religion, elders, mentors, and the command of the conscience or morality. Number 2, love, respect, and obey his parents and cooperate with them in the strengthening of the family. It means that the child must love, respect, and follow his parents and cooperate with his parents, because it is his responsibility as a child and as a member of the family, and for strengthening and maintaining their family bonds. Next is number 3. Extend to his brothers and sisters his love, thoughtfulness, and helpfulness, and endeavor with them to keep the family harmonious and united. It means that in order to have a healthy family, the child should share his love not only for his parents, but also to his sisters and brothers. He must be considerate and caring to them and help them and support them when they have problems. Next is number 4. Exert his utmost to develop his potentialities for service, particularly by undergoing a formal education suited to his abilities, in order that he may become an asset to himself and to the society. Next is number 5. Respect not only his elders, but also the customs and traditions of our people, the memory of our heroes, the duly constituted authorities, the laws of our country, and the principles and institutions of democracy. Next, number 6, participate actively in civic affairs and in the promotion of the general welfare, always bearing in mind that it is the youth who will eventually be called upon to discharge the responsibility of leadership in shaping the nation's future. And next is number 7. Health is the observance of individual human rights, the strengthening of freedom everywhere, the fostering of cooperation among nations in the pursuit of their common aspiration for progress and prosperity, and the furtherance of world peace. Next, let's move on to Article 5, Commencement of Civil Personality. The civil personality of the child shall commence from the time of his conception, for all purposes favorable to him, subject to the requirements of Article 41 of the Civil Code. When we say civil personality, is when a person recognized as a person. Meaning, kung na-recognize na ka, na kay mga rights. Then, the civil personality of the child starts from the moment of his conception. Meaning, if you are in the womb of your mother, that's the start of civil personality. But, you just a presumption as a person or commencement as a person. But you have the right na nga to be born and live. Na kay right nga to be born and live. But once nga ipanganak na ka, you have the full civil personality. Meaning, na kay mga karapatan bilang isang tao. Next is Article 6, Abortion. The abortion of a conceived child, whether such act be intentional or not, shall be governed by pertinent provisions of the revised penal code. Abortion, it is the expulsion of a fetus from a mother's womb. Then abortion has two kinds, the criminal abortion and therapeutic abortion. Criminal abortion has two classifications, the intentional and unintentional abortions. So when we say intentional, from the word itself, intention, so gituyo nga ipalaglag ang bata from the mother's womb with the consent of the parents or the mother. While an intentional abortion, wala siya nga gituyo nga ipalaglag o ipa-abort ang baby. But because of the abuses or violence, nalaglag ang bata. That criminal abortion is punishable by law. Next is therapeutic abortion. This abortion is recommended and performed by a certified physician to a mother who have health risks and complications that might cause her to death, and this is not punishable by law. Now let's proceed to Article 7, Non-disclosure of birth records. The records of a person's birth shall be kept strictly confidential, and no information relating thereto shall be issued except on the request of any of the following. It means that the information of the child's birth or the person's birth shall not known to others or must be kept confidentially except for the following person who have the right to ask the record of the child or the person. So first, the person himself or any person authorized by him. Second, his spouse, his parent or parents, his direct descendants, or the guardian or institution legally in charge of him if he is a minor. Third, the court or proper public official, whenever absolutely necessary in administrative, judicial, or other official proceedings to determine the identity of the child's parent or other circumstances surrounding his birth. And lastly, in case of the person's death, the nearest of kid. Any person violating the prohibition shall suffer the penalty of imprisonment of at least 2 months or a fine in an amount not exceeding 500 pesos, or both in the discretion of the court. Next is Article 8, Child's Welfare Paramount. In all questions regarding the care, custody, education, and property of the child, his welfare shall be paramount consideration. It means that above all the needs, basic or not, given to the child, the care, the custody, education, and property, the most important is the child welfare. Child welfare is a continuum of services designed to ensure that children are safe and that families have the necessary support to care for their children successfully. Now let's move on to Article 9, Levels of Growth. This means that the child shall be given enough care, assistance, and guidance from his infancy to early and later childhood, puberty, and adolescence until he reaches the age of 21. Next is Article 10, Phases of Development. This means that it is the right of the children to enjoy all opportunities, facilities, and special protection provided by law, institutions, and other means in order to fully develop their physical, mental, emotional, moral, spiritual, and social in a good manner and conditions. Next is Article 11, Promotion of Health. This means that it is very important that a mother will get enough checkups for the baby or the child and herself in order to ensure the normal development of the baby. It is very essential to undergo prenatal care because it will help the mother and the baby healthy during pregnancy. Also, undergoing postnatal will help the mother and the child away from any complication after giving birth. Next is Article 12, Education. The schools and other entities engaged in non-formal education shall assist the parents in providing the best education for the child. Next is Article 13, Social and Emotional Growth. Steps shall be taken to ensure the child's healthy social and emotional growth. This shall be undertaken by the home in collaboration with the schools and other agencies engaged in the promotion of the child welfare. Next is Article 14, Morality. High moral principles should be instilled in the child, particularly in the home, the school, and the church to which he belongs. It means that the home or the parents, the school or the teachers, and the church in which the children belong must inculcate the high moral principles to the mind of the children for them to become a good or decent person. Next, Article 15, Spiritual Values. The promotion of the child's spiritual well-being according to the precept of his religion should, as much as possible, be encouraged by the state. Now let's move on to Title 2, Child and Youth Welfare and the Home. Chapter 1, Parental Authority. When we say parental authority, is the totality of the rights of the parents over their children. It is over the person and the property of the child. Then Section A in general, Article 17, Joint Parental Authority. The father and mother shall exercise jointly just and reasonable parental authority and responsibility over their legitimate or adopted children. It means that the father and mother shall jointly exercise their parental authority and responsibility to their children, whether legitimate or adopted child. Then, in case of disagreement between the father and the mother, the father's decision shall prevail, but there is an exemption of this if the father fails to do his responsibility to his children. And then in case of separation of his parents, no child under 5 years of age shall be separated from his mother unless the court finds compelling reasons to do so. Now, let's move on to Chapter 3, Duties of Parents. Article 50, Special Talents. Parents shall endeavor to discover the child's talent or aptitude, if any, and to encourage and develop them. It means that the parents should strive to discover the talents of their child. If there is, the parents should encourage their child to engage in different activities that will help the child to develop his natural abilities. If the child is especially gifted, his parents shall report this fact to the National Center for Gifted Children or to other agencies concerned so that official assistance or recognition may be extended to him. Next is Article 51, Reading Habit. The reading habit should be cultivated in the home. So it means that it is the duty of the parents to impose reading habit to their children at home. They should provide good and wholesome reading material to their child with considering the age and emotional development of their children. And also, they must protect or watch their child against from any pornographic publication, whether it's pictures or writing. Next is Article 52, Association with other children. Parents shall encourage the child to associate with other children of his own age with whom he can develop common interests of useful and salutary nature. It means that the parents should allow and encourage their children to have good interaction to their peers that can help them develop their talents, skills, and common interest, but not to the extent that allowing them to go out or stay out late at night because it can damage or affect the health, studies, and morals of their children. Staying late at night is not good because it is dangerous, especially this time. There are a lot of crimes happen during at night. But also, it is the duty of parents to know who are the friends of their children and what activities they do for them to ensure that their children will not accompanied with the bad influencers. And that's be all about my report, the Presidential Decree number 603, the Child and Youth Welfare Code, and thank you everyone for listening.